everyone, so I'm going to be giving my tips on how I use a duo fibered stippling brush, and I'll also be having a demonstration towards the end of the video. So there are a lot of stippling brushes out there in the market. Some of the popular ones are from MAC and Sigma. The MAC one is the 187 and the Sigma one is the F50. Alpha also has one, and there are plenty of brands, but in the end they kind of all do the same thing, which is apply foundation. So the one that I have is from Models Prefer, and it's from the Professional series. It is in 105 stippling. I'll be showing you on how to use this brush, the correct technique, and what's best to be used with it, like whether it be liquid, mineral, if you can use powder. So every stippling brush is considered to be duo fibered, meaning that it has goat hair on the outside of the brush, and then it has white hair in the middle. Sorry, mine is the color of my foundation because I just applied my foundation before this, but these bristles right here are white. So it's got black hair around it, black goat hair around it, and then white bristles coming out from the middle. So stippling brushes are mainly used for liquid foundations because they leave a very natural and airbrushed finish to your face. But this definitely depends on how you use it, because sometimes it can end up very cakey looking and very streaky looking, and I'll explain it later on. So the great thing about the stippling brush is that it's not just restricted to liquid foundation. It can be used for different products. So it's pretty versatile. It can be used for your liquid foundation, and it can be used for a face powder, a blush, and a bronzer. So practically all your face products. So if you are traveling and you are limited on space, you can just take this brush and you can use it for all your face products. So the stippling brush is a unique brush, not only in the way it just looks, but on how it applies. I think the main question that people have with this brush is on how to use it, so how to apply your foundation. So the first thing you should be doing is you should never be applying your foundation directly onto the brush, because it will destroy the bristles and it will leave your face very cakey and very streaky. So what you should be doing is you should be either putting it on the back of your hand or into a little palette. So when transferring the liquid foundation onto your brush, you should never swirl it in or put it on directly onto the brush. What you should be doing is you should be just lightly tapping on top. So the foundation only goes on the top of the bristles, never inside, or it should never be touching around the black bristles. What you should be doing is you should be just lightly tapping. And then when applying it to your face, you should be also doing that same motion, meaning you should be just lightly tapping, or stippling as the name says. You should never swirl your brush like this, or you should never pull it up and down like you would use a foundation brush, because that will leave your face very cakey and very streaky. What you should be doing is you should be just lightly tapping. So just imagine this was your face and this is a brush. So what you should be doing is you should be just lightly tapping the foundation on. So you shouldn't just tap it and then think the foundation is gonna blend in naturally. You should be just tapping for about 5 to 6 seconds, and then it will blend in. So this stippling brush is amazing for your liquid foundation and all your face products, but it does have a downside, and the downside is that it doesn't actually fit into all parts of your face. So when I do apply my foundation around my face, what I do is I just grab my 2 fingers here and then I just kind of squeeze it like that, and then I just apply it into the creases of my nose. But other than that, I have no issues with the stippling brush. So now I will show you how I apply my foundation using the stippling brush. So the foundation that I'm using is a liquid foundation, and it's from MAC, and it's the Studio Fix Fluid, and I'm in NC45. So the biggest no-no of all time is never to pour your foundation onto the brush directly, because that will just destroy the bristles first of all, and it will leave your makeup very streaky, very cakey, and just terrible. So what you should do is you should either place a bit of foundation on the back of your hand or on a little kind of palette, and this used to be a cover for an old face powder. But I like to use a little palette, and the great thing about using a stippling brush is that you only need a very little amount of product, because this spreads the product out evenly and it gives you a flawless look. So I'll just put a little bit of foundation onto the little palette. So I've just put a little bit of product on. So when you put the brush onto the foundation, where you should be getting the foundation is at the very tips of these bristles. It should never go around this black area, just the very tip. So what you're going to do is Just gonna lightly spread it around. Like so. So as you can tell, I'm already stippling it from here. So when you grab the foundation, you should be stippling it. But I'm not sure if you can see, but it's at the very tips of the bristles, and that's where you should be getting your foundation. So now that it's on the tips of my brush, I'm just gonna apply it onto my face. So you should never swirl your foundation around or just dab it on like a normal foundation brush. What you should be doing is you should be stippling. So I'll show you right now. So taking the stippling brush, you should use a dabbing motion on your face until the product has blended out. So don't swirl the brush around in a circular motion because it will definitely leave a lot of streak marks. And continue stippling until all the product has blended into your skin. So I just applied it around my cheek area. If you just compare it to my face before, it's just covered all my acne scars lightly and it doesn't look cakey at all. It looks like it's being airbrushed, and that's what I love about this brush. So the biggest rule with using this brush is you should never swirl it around because you'll get streak marks and it'll just look very unflattering. So I'll continue around my face. And I love this brush because it uses very little product, but it covers your face really nicely. It does take a little bit more time compared to a normal foundation brush, but the time is definitely worth it. So this is the finished effect of using a stippling brush with a liquid foundation in a stippling motion, which is tapping it lightly. So comparing my face to before, it's covered all my acne scars and it looks much more clearer and much more natural. Hopefully my tips and the demonstration using the stippling brush was really helpful. So if you have any questions, please feel free to comment down below. Please give a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you all soon. Bye.